Good afternoon. What the performance measures means to the state of Maine, we've been taking great strides on where we're going to spend our money, how we're going to do it. So people that are a lot smarter than me developed a system to show us where we should spend our money, and it was based on highway priority corridors, 1 through 6, 1 being interstate, and principal arterials, 6 being local roads and streets. We broke it up into actually, instead of good, fair, and poor, we actually threw in an excellent category. As you can see on the lower priority corridors, local roads, and minor collectors, that 4 is actually acceptable under a condition C. Right now, what our goal is to have everything within, well, the report was 2 years ago, but within 10 years, so about 8 years now, everything would grade a C. This is one of the other measurements that we have as far as the functionality and usage of a bridge. As you can see, the higher priority corridors, a posting or a restriction is unacceptable. And then all the way down to some of your local roads and minor collectors, that postings are legitimate and can be used. I mean, it depends on what the roadway is actually used for. In reality, what our posting committee has done, and you try to do on most of our postings, instead of the 20-ton limit that we've looked at, we really try to get 22-ton, because that is about the weight of a fire truck, not the largest fire trucks, not a ladder truck, but generally in places like this where you're going to find these bridges, you're not going to find multi-story buildings anyway. This is just a description and of our priority system. As you can see, interstate system and principal arterials are 1, local roads down to 6. As you can see, that's where most of our roadways are on the local system, but that's the least amount of traffic. The state of Maine owns and maintains all bridges on public ways, including local roads. So our ownership and a lot of our bad bridges are actually on local roads that we took over in 2001 due to the law change. So we inherited a lot of crummy structures. This is the bridge ownership. The state of Maine's broken up into 5 regions. This is a previous slide I had done. I didn't bother to break it out, but if you look at the bottom on the grand totals, you can see that 54% of the structures are in the 4s, 5s, and 6s. And strategically, the way that my bridge maintenance charge is that most of the capital funds will be expended on the 1s, 2s, and 3s. My major restorative and repair efforts are on the 4s, 5s, and 6s. So you can see that I actually have 54% of the bridges for the responsibility, total of 2,725. Classic bridge management engineers, every time that I see that number, it might be 2,748 tomorrow, 2,772 the next day, and then back down to 2,710. This is where we are today. The red is our Ds and Fs on the different corridors. In the blue is the A, Bs, and Cs. Those are all excellent, fair, and good. This is where we rank with our structurally deficient bridges. Statewide, we're pretty poor. We're 14.7%. A lot of that has to do with our lower priority roadways. Bridges that we never touched, never saw any maintenance until the last 14 years. As you can see, when you break it down into deck area, we're a little bit better. And then when you look at the NHS, we're at 7% with number of bridges and actually at 4.5% with deck area. So we're not all that bad. Do we look to improve? Absolutely. But, and hopefully, given our prioritization with our customer service levels and our highway corridor priorities, we'll move in the right direction.